and jump to the rhythm as hard as you can go. Turn it up, y'all. Peak flow. Are you ready? Set. Jump to the rhythm as hard as you can go. Keep it steady. To the letter right. Turn it up. We giving the show. But can you rock it like rocket fuel? What you talking about? Space out your mind. But can you rock it like rockets, fool? That's a close encounter of what kind?
Coach, thank you. We are over 4,000 miles away from where you're seated in Orlando as we come to you from the European home of the NFL, London, England, and Wembley Stadium. Coming up, another edition of the NFL International Series, and it should be a good one between the Cincinnati Bengals and our home team. Lurching closer toward the midway point of this NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line.
The Bengals take over 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line.
That's right, baby. Watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out.
There you go, 368.
This is Joe Mixon, fourth in the NFL in rushing last season. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. Second down.
No gain on the play.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10.
Big series right here. We got to step it up.
25, check 20. Hey.
Dalton with a give here to Mixon. And they'll blow that one up back at the 16-yard line. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
3rd and long. What will Dalton dial up? Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked up by John Johnson, and he is going to get this one back to the 20-yard line. Well, not a good omen there. His first throw of the afternoon, intercepted.
And I know what the fans are thinking right now. I hope there's not negative thoughts in his head going forward since that's his first throw of the game. But one of the things I remember about him coming out of school is he's able to wipe things away pretty easily and move on.
Now the 3rd leading rusher in the NFL last year, Todd Gurley. This will be a 5-yard pickup as they move it from the 20 to the 15. Brought down by the cornerback, William Jackson. Now on 2nd down, this is Gurley. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down. In danger of squandering their great field position as they come up on a 3rd and 7.
Undercut. 2 for 1. What's up?
Goff going to hand it to Gurley. And he is going to be stopped at the 12, short of the first down. So instead of forcing the field goal, it'll be 1st and goal.
Yeah, the force was trying to make something happen that just didn't need to, right? I mean, plays happen, let it go. It's over. Instead, he creates a penalty.
So now then the penalty's got him set up with a 1st and goal.
Shell. Bravo. Pick it up.
From the gun, here's Goff. And it's caught for a Rams touchdown by Brandon Cooks. Brandon Cooks, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. The point after through the raindrops, up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. They had the interception last time. It led to the opening touchdown. So now 7-0 the score as they start 1st and 10. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Samson Abukum able to record his 5th sack of the season. Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. Dalton. And he fires one that's intercepted. It's the rookie from Washington, Taylor Rapp, who picked it. And his guys will take over at the 25-yard line. First quarter, and now he already has 2 interceptions.
Okay, he's got to guard against being tentative from this point forward, though. He's got to still make the right reads, make the proper throws. I've seen guys in this league throw 4 interceptions in a game and win.
And he's going to go down here, a sack. They push him back to the 34. Carl Lawson with a little how do you do as he gets in there for the sack.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes, and just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, their quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
So 2nd and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range. And that's caught left side. It's Woods. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
3rd and long. It's gone. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. Zerline, of course, last year had likely the iconic field goal of the season, booting that 57-yarder in the Superdome to send his squad to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, you really hurt the Saints fans on that one, didn't you?
Sorry.
They didn't want to hear that at all. But this guy deserves his nicknames. Greg the Leg, Legatron, because the ball goes through the post at a heavy rate, 87% in 2018.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And Green with a catch left side. Well, this crowd does not like that call.
Understandable reaction from them. That's their team that the penalty's going against. But you and I both know they're going to take care of the quarterback.
So now a fresh set of downs. 1st and 10 after roughing the passer. After the penalty, it's Mixon. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down.
The evolution of Clay Matthews as a player, it's just one that they're going to end up writing books about. He didn't even start until his senior year at USC. He didn't start in high school. And now he's at all-pro level in the NFL. How about the play?
And here's another interception, the 3rd of this first quarter. Picked off by Dante Fowler. The struggles continue here offensively. Still nothing for him on the scoreboard, and now an interception.
Yeah, the offense looks extremely sluggish, not really in sync at all. Dare I say, it looks like it got left behind in customs.
Oh, you've had that in your back pocket. You were waiting for that.
Probably should have left it in my back pocket, too.
Well played. After the interception, here's Goff. He'll get this complete to Cooper Kupp. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. A very solid gain of 27.
And the Rams, first down.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. They go play action with Gurley. Now Goff. He'll throw underneath for Gurley. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 41. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
That play was well covered. Just tried to check it down. Unfortunately, not able to find any yardage on that one.
That pass play wound up for negative yardage, so here's second and 11. Gone. It's caught left side by Cooks. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. It's a pickup of 17 and a first down. Cooks now in his second season with the Rams. He's had 4 straight years over 1,000 yards. He had 2 with the Saints, 1 with New England, and then he went over 1,000 again last year with the Rams. 80 catches, 1,204 yards. On first down, it's Gurley. Not much there. Maybe a couple as he's taken down at the 40.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
10-0 the score after 1 on EA Sports. The Rams with the football here to begin the second quarter as they've got a 2nd and 8 forthcoming. Goff turns and gives to Gurley. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that'll bring up a 3rd and 11 situation.
Here we go. 180. Come on, come on.
A shotgun snap for Goff. And the throw there going to be incomplete. More problems here on 3rd down. They've converted only once so far in this first half.
And you know as well as I do in this league, if you don't win on 3rd down, it makes it hard to win a ball game because then you're relying on your defense, you're relying on your special teams. You've got to get it done with your offensive unit.
And last week in the loss, 5 punts as he gets this one away. That'll go as a punt of 32 yards. And the Bengals will take over here 1st and 10. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
But one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness, maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature, to go ahead and try and put some pressure on the defense.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Now Joe Mixon. And very little daylight there. He'll get a couple up to the 44.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Mixon with it. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 41. They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by the Pro Bowler, Marcus Peters. And his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line. Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him, because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. Henderson now on 1st and 10. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down.
So much of the game today, we're looking for hybrid players, guys who can do a combination of jobs. And anyone who plays a strong safety position, now more than ever, is a hybrid-type player. Half defensive back that covers passes and half linebacker that makes tackles. We just saw the linebacker make that play.
And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield.
We all have habits. We can be somewhat predictable, and you know me pretty well on 2nd down and short. What I like to see.
Play action.
Yeah, without a doubt, I thought that was a great spot to call it. Instead, didn't go their way, did it?
Now, defense sold out for the run. Worked out well. And he'll be taken down well before the first at about the 36-yard line. Give him a couple on the run as it brings up a 4th down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys. Now, if this was a clear day in September, I'd say this is well within his range. I'd feel very confident about this kick, but let's be honest about it. In these elements, the difficulty level gets ratcheted up by at least a factor of 5.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Marching in for the sack, Michael Brockers. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
On the run, it's Mixon. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down. I was pretty surprised there when they lined up to run it on 2nd and long, but it worked out for them.
It certainly did, and that requires some confidence, some fortitude, and a little bit of hope, doesn't it? You hope you catch the defense just right and break off a big run to help yourself out on the next down.
Coming up at halftime, we remind you once again that we're going to check in with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL as we reach now, hard to believe, the halfway point of the season. Time flying.
It certainly is. Time to get the sweaters out, my man.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect. A bad time for a roughing penalty, and they get the gift of a 1st and 10. From the gun, a give to Mixon. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Check, 59. 65, 55. 65.
Dalton on the draw to Mixon. Michael Brockers in on the stop.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
And he gets it down a yard or two shy of the 30 before he's out of bounds.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
Now, Bengals on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. Out of the shotgun, they run with Mixon. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. The Rams going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. kick is good. He needed a little help there from the crossbar, but the carom goes his way. And they get themselves on the board here. It's 10-3. So not the strongest of kicks we've seen him make, but he gets a favorable bounce, and it's 3 points all the same.
Yeah, that was one of those where he needed the 6-iron, but he pulled out the 9-iron. That one was run out of gas quickly, but he does manage to pop it over the bar.
At their own 27-yard line.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And now with still more than a minute to go in what's been a tight game, you figure we'll try to see them move the ball downfield.
And remember, they get the kickoff to start the second half, so this is a golden opportunity for them to go down there and put up a couple of sixes back-to-back. What a momentum swing that would be.
Yeah, you might be able to get a 2-for-1 without ever even giving up the football. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Out of the gun, Goff. And this one's incomplete. He was looking for Todd Gurley, and that'll bring up second down.
We've already seen him catch a few passes out of the backfield in the first half, unable to connect on that one.
Certainly seems like getting him the ball out of the passing game, though, is part of their game plan.
It certainly is, because he catches it well, creates a mismatch. You're going to cover him with a linebacker, a corner, a safety. They feel like he can win every battle.
Back to the air. Goff on second down. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's third down.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they didn't completions on first and second down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. But if you don't pick up the first down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
The Rams on third down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 10. Again, Goff. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. William Jackson with a pick. And a great return as he gets this all the way down close to the 30-yard line. Looking for Woods that time.
So first thing that crosses my mind is why didn't they just sit on the lead and take it to the locker room? They're in good shape.
Absolutely, and from this spot on the field, now you've given the other side a chance for points here going into intermission.
Yeah, you changed the momentum of the game, and it's something you did not need to do.
And now here's another interception. Picked off by the safety, Eric Weddle, and he will bring this across midfield to the 49-yard line. Wow, so wipe out the INT roughing the passer. What a disaster.
An absolute disaster, and you hope their lockers are not right next to each other for the postgame. Safe to say one is not buying the other dinner.
So now a fresh set of downs, 1st and 10 after roughing the passer. Throwing, Dalton, and this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down.
The positioning here is key. As a defensive back, you're taught 99% of the time, make a play on the football. But in this case, making a play on the man was all the difference. That's what forced the incompletion.
Passing again, Dalton on 2nd and 10. Under heavy pressure, and down goes Dalton on the sack. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. So the sack, and now it's 3rd and long for Dalton and the Bengals. From the gun, Dalton looks to throw. Airing one out for Boyd. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off by the Pro Bowler, Marcus Peters. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. You've got less than 30 seconds left here in the half. You're well on your own side of the field. What are we doing here, Coach Davis?
Well, I'm trying something on first down, and it's something that's safe. It's something that's been done many times before. A lot of people say it's not even worth trying, but I'm running a draw. I'm running a screen. I'm seeing if something pops. And if it does, that can alter my strategy and potentially get me some points. And if it doesn't work, well, then you just run the clock down and go to the locker room.
Up at the 29 now, they'll head to the line, 2nd and a yard. They'll keep it on the ground again here. And he's going to have a first down, but not sure it'll matter as the clock will continue to run. The Rams going to be forced to use their third and final timeout as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Now Goff will hand this one to Gurley. Extending the arm.
Oh, yes, it works.
Good yardage as he rumbles for 24 and a first.
24 yards. That's another Rams first down. 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line.
Tonight, 180. Yeah. Check that.
On 1st and 10, Goff. Under pressure here, and down he goes. Safe back at about the 43-yard line. So we have reached halftime with a touchdown. That's the difference on the scoreboard. As it's time now to send you back stateside to Orlando, Florida, and check in with Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Okay, Coach. Appreciate it. A one-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. As they say here in London, all to play for as we are back underway in the second half. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about.
And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down. Nick Vigil in there to get him. It's a loss of 5.
Sometimes I watch games and wonder why they use play fakes on certain passing situations because it's not going to fool anyone. I don't know if that was the case here, but the end result was the same. No one fooled. The quarterback was hit.
Got to assume this defense will be charging again here. It's 2nd and 15. Now it's Gurley. And they'll get 8 out of this before being stopped at the 28. So many questions about Todd Gurley in the offseason. How good is the knee? I mean, remember, he had a heavy workload the last couple years, nearly 4,000 yards from scrimmage, 40 total touchdowns, but just 4 carries in the NFC Championship game, 10 in the Super Bowl. So we'll see what kind of usage he gets this season.
180. Let's go, D. Let's go. Let's get there.
On the jet sweep, they get this to Cooks. 3 yards won't be enough here as that'll bring up 4th down.
Well, not a big gain with that play, but what they're doing is they're spreading the defense out, probing a little bit, and what they're hoping probably is that later in the game, they can create a matchup that they can exploit for big yardage later.
This is taken around the 12. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Bengals drive about to get going. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Again, it's Mixon. He is taken down at the 21 after a short gain of 2.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they look to throw. And able to find Green. Oh, he's got it. There goes Green. The 20. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about. And yes, they want the points, so they will decline the penalty. No question there.
You don't think they spent a couple of seconds mulling over what the penalty would do?
I don't even know why they asked the sideline.
Not at all. When you put the ball in the end zone on a takeaway, take the points and keep moving.
So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line.
The Rams take over 1st and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
One play has them up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Here's Gurley. It was Nick Vigil there on the stop.
They went right back to him, but he pretty much had nowhere to go on that play.
Now, the previous carry looked pretty good. That one, maybe he was a little tired. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe he should have tapped out and had a second back come in and maybe make that run. Who knows?
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Here's Goff. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Goff now looking to throw. Well, the two men come together, and it's incomplete. Excellent work defensively, brings up 4th down.
It's always a goal, and it's really nice defensively when you can rally to the football and make sure there's enough contact to force an incompletion.
Force an incompletion and force another punt. Oh, he'll field it in the end zone.
You rarely call your punter a weapon, but he certainly was there. How about that? Pinning him down at the 1-yard line and helping out the defense in a big way. I'm telling you what, if I'm a defensive coordinator, I might be thinking safety right now.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. Their defense has done the job. Now it's the offense's turn as they've got it 1st and 10.
Watch the twist. Check it back, check it back.
They'll try to get the run game going. This is Mixon. Oh, and he's not going to make it out of the end zone. The push too strong, and that'll be a safety. Well, I think you can go ahead and give your punter an assist on that one. Pinned him deep, and the defense comes through with 2 points.
You're exactly right, partner. This was all set up by a great punt, and if the ball goes in the end zone, this never happens. So great call. Give the punt team and the punter some love. At some point, we're going to get it through our heads. Special teams, special teams, special teams. The spark that often wins games.
Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone. I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down, a very solid gain on that play.
The 1st down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. They go with Brown. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. That one a first down pickup of 8.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them.
Here we go. 180.
Let's get off the field, D. Let's get off the field, D.
Back to the workhorse today. It's Gurley. Todd Gurley, wave goodbye. Touchdown, LA. Todd Gurley, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the Rams tack on to their advantage. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one, because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
Oh, I was just about to say he had missed an extra point all season, but there it is. His first miss, no good. Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. The Bengals drive about to get going.
Watch the screen. Watch the screen. Watch the screen. Watch the screen. Watch the screen.
Here's Joe Mixon as they start on the ground. And this will go as a gain of 7 as he gets it to the 30-yard line. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you, because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
1st and 10 at the 36-yard line.
Now Dalton. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Not sure what happened out there, but it looked like the timing was a little off on that throw.
Well, you know I'm a defender, so what am I going to say?
Great defense.
Darn right. They did something to disrupt that timing.
They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10.
All right, D. Let's go. All right, D.
Throwing again. Dalton. And the Rams got him. They bring him down. Michael Brockers able to take him down. It's a loss of 3. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends.
Let's go.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Dalton. He's got his man here. It's Green. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Welcome back now here in London. It's the Bengals. They've got the football, but they trail here as we get rolling in quarter number 4. So from Rams territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. Passing, it's Dalton. And they're going to get him. He's taken down for a sack back at the 47-yard line. Clay Matthews in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. Coming up now on a 2nd and 15 following that sack.
We got 4. We got 4.
Mixon. It's a gain of 4, but they're still looking up here at a tough 3rd and 11.
Oftentimes we praise an offense for their variety of being able to hit people with the run in the pass, but in this game, how about what we're seeing from the safeties? They are all over the field. Doesn't matter if they threw it or if they're trying to run it.
I don't think we've ever awarded an MVU, most valuable unit, but you're right, it might go to them in this game.
I like that, MVU. Well done.
And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Rams' 24-yard line. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the...
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Samson Abuka in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. And Dalton to throw. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. They get 14 back, but it leads now to a 3rd down.
Timing is everything, and they work on this cut all the time. They work on all the timing patterns, and this time it paid off for them. Worked him to the center of the field, cut it to the outside, ball's delivered, gets both feet down for the completion.
They give to Mixon to try to pick it up, and he will have the 1st down before he's tackled at the 12. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving. Now, yes, a 2-possession game, but a good chunk of time on the clock, so they have the ability still there to run it on 2nd and short, but maybe they need to pick it up a bit.
You're right, they did pick up the 1st down there, but as you mentioned, they have to pick up the pace now because it's a 2-possession game. They've got to get there twice to make sure they have a chance to win.
That sends them 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down. Got to give some credit there defensively. They snuffed out that screen early on 1st down.
Really read it well, didn't they? Because they didn't bring the pressure that they expected. They covered all the passing lanes. So once you see it break down as the passer, I think in this situation, you're either throwing it at the feet of your back to make sure no one picks it off, or you throw it away, throw it over the sideline. Don't try and freelance and try and make a bigger play. There's really no one else running a pattern that should be open.
Throwing again on 2nd down, but this time it's incomplete. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. 2 yards on the pickup there. It's 4th down. And he missed it. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is. And that one, an absolute backbreaker. A chance to get back within a score. Couldn't do it.
Yeah, that one went begging, as they say, right? There's the opportunity, and it was missed. But all hope's not lost just yet. But, boy, getting back within 1 score would have been a powerful motivator for their defense to take the field well.
They'll start out on the ground with Gurley. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. They're down here in the 4th, and that personal foul penalty is not going to help.
No, in these types of situations, players will tell you that's extra intensity. From where we sit, it's actually frustration, not a good play.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. Now, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking 1st downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, 1st downs, they can't touch the ball.
Let's get it.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Another carry now for Gurley. Fancy footwork in midfield. And he's going to be taken down with a marker on the field. So let's see about the call. That hold coming from the middle of the line, the center.
And it's difficult for him because sometimes you've got people right over you, and as soon as you snap it, trying to get your hands up and block them, you can be a little bit late getting it done.
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. From the gun, here's Goff. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
What has not been the best game for him, but he definitely tried to get by with a little help from his friend there, trying to create a big play.
Couldn't do it, fell incomplete, but you're right, hasn't been a banner game here in the 2nd half, just trying to get going.
Big thing is trying to keep confidence up.
And Gurley here fumbled it. Gurley fumbles the football, it's loose.
Wow, that ball was knocked free. but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. Taken in at the 11. Down under 2 minutes to go in this football game. Meanwhile, in Nashville, they're on to the fourth quarter now. And the Titans really stretching things out now as they've scored again. If they indeed win, it would be win number 9 on the season. Big spot. Andy Dalton. Got a man open. It's Ross. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Looking to throw again on second down. Dalton got his man. It's Eifert. 16 yards, a first down.
And there's another completion to the tight end. And let's face it, it is hard to overthrow a 6'6" target.
It is indeed. Quarterbacks like their speed guys. They like that huge 6'6" target that they've got in him.
They really do. And it reminds me of what one great tight end told me once. He told his quarterback, just make sure you throw it up there. You know, kind of like put it up on the top shelf where the kids can't get it.
Whether it's a touchdown or a field goal, whatever it is, they need to score quickly here on first down. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off with great anticipation. And a short return will be stopped inside the 10 at the 8-yard line. Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used a calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try too hard, and they never get out of it. And that's where he is right now. He's just locked in a really bad way.
The recipe's pretty simple, I think, right? You just give your superstar the ball, continue to feed him.
Yeah, don't overthink this one, right? Make sure he's touching the football, but you're also counting on his intelligence in playing the game as well. If it's not there, don't force the run. Just make sure you hang on to the football and keep the clock ticking.
So the L.A. Rams with a victory here, and they were spurred on by a strong performance in that fourth quarter as they held their opponents off the scoreboard.
Everyone wants to pitch a shutout for the entire game, but when you throw one in the fourth quarter, that tells everyone that you're getting stronger and dominance is starting to take over, right? The way that you close, the way that you finish, that gets preached to you from the time you're playing Little League football all the way up through. And they closed them out with a big-time performance down the stretch.
So for the Rams, they'll finish the first half of the schedule dead even at 4-4. And now it's off to Heathrow as they get set to fly back to the U.S. in a couple hours. Meanwhile, for Cincinnati, things are kind of getting ugly as they drop to 1-7 now on the year. And they'll take this loss into the bye as they'll be back in action in Week 10. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.